one thing I'm gonna say is be careful out there. You never know. The person I could have met could have been crazy and stuff like that. You never know what could happen. Hey guys, today is story time day. And today I'm gonna be talking about the very first time I ever got catcalled. This goes back all the way from when I was in high school. It was like sophomore year, the ending of sophomore year. This high school I was going to, I just moved to another neighborhood where I transferred to that school. And when I transferred, it was like 2 months left before school ended. So I technically transferred to that school like really late. Anyway, so I decided to sign up for this after school program activities that they, always doing at school. So I forgot what activity it was, but yeah, it was an activity I was doing. I stayed for it, and then it was around like 6 p.m. when it was finally over. Then I could go home. But the thing is, back then I used to walk home. I used to have to walk all the way to my house, and then to be honest, looking back, that walk was like a mile or two, I think. I should probably do the calculation, but anyway, it was like a mile or two back to my house. Let me tell you, I had to walk all the way home and go walk all the way to school every day. That was a workout. Anyway, back to the topic. So I was walking home around 6 p.m. when I looked back, I saw this guy following me. I was like, at that time, I was like, oh my God. At first I was like, you know what? Maybe he's just going his way. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go my way. But the spot he was walking was like on the other sidewalk. So I was like, I shouldn't be, I shouldn't be like too judgmental. So I just, kept walking. And then he was walking on the other sidewalk. And I was like, okay, whatever. He's going his way, I'm going my way. We're all going our way. Anyway, so then what started making me kind of suspicious is when he crossed the street to my side. So now he's like behind me walking. Like not too close, it was like maybe 10 feet away. So he was walking behind me and I was like, okay, whatever. I was like, you know what, maybe he's gonna turn a certain direction away from me. I was like, okay, whatever. So I kept walking and he's still there. This time he's like fast walking up to me. I was like, damn. And I started, speeding up my pace trying to get away from him. And then he just started walking a little faster. I was like, you know what, maybe he's just trying to get to his location, Maybe he was just trying to get to wherever he was going to faster. That's why he was walking so fast. So I was like, okay. So I kind of slowed down my speed. I started, my pace. I started walking a little slower, a little calmer. And then he started getting closer and closer. I'm like, whatever. At that time, I was like, you know what? There's cars around. It shouldn't be any problem anyway. So I was walking, and then it started getting a little empty. So empty on the street. At that time, I was like, okay, let me. At the time, I'm suspicious because since it was my first time being followed, I was scared. So I was like really, keeping myself alert, just in case anything happens. So for me, when I'm in a bad situation, I tend to keep calm. While in my head, I'm thinking many possibilities of how to get out of that situation. So in my head, there's a lot going in my head, but outside I will appear like calm and collected. That's how I face crazy situations. I just stay calm and collected. But in my head, I'm thinking many ways how to get out of that situation. Anyway, so while I'm over here freaking out in my head, this guy came up. It was like, he technically tried to, what he called 13, I would call like too invasive. He was being invasive to me. To me, he was being invasive and getting too much in my personal space. I didn't like it. But to him, he thought he was flirting. But that's just no. Anyway, so he was like, he started giving me compliments. Tons of compliments. Oh, you're so pretty. Oh, you're so pretty. All that stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. Why? One thing I want to know. Why does guys feel like they need to give compliments like that? What? Are they I don't know. You know what? Maybe that's my situation. So for him, the way I saw it was like he's trying to compliment me, trying to make me, feel better about myself. And to be honest, his compliments were coming off as if he thought I might be like insecure about myself, and that happens a lot. So some guys would feed off some girls' insecurities like no other. Like they know, like. So be careful. Even if you're always insecure, be careful when somebody be telling you all that stuff. They are trying to get under your skin, buddy. Anyway, at that time, yes, at the time I was. Come on now. I was in high school sophomore year. Yeah, I was insecure back then. But at that time, I was smart enough to understand that he's only doing this to get in my favor. He's trying to get something from me. That's, as you can anybody could tell that he was trying to get something from me by giving me all these compliments and all these stuff. So I was like, so he kept saying all that stuff, and then my replies. I think everybody should do this. If you ever get approached and then be like, they keep complimenting you like that, just say like, oh, I know, thank you. I know I'm pretty. I know, thank you, I know. I just kept saying that, and then at the time he looked kind of like, oh, like, cause I keep giving him 1-2 word answers like that, and I was being too smart, I guess. Anyway, and I could tell on his facial expression, I could tell by his facial expressions that he didn't like the fact how I was responding to his compliments. And then since I saw that, I just kept going. I'd be like, yeah, I know. And I was like, I don't need you to tell me this. I already know. I know I'm pretty. And so I just kept walking, and then he was like, can I get you a number? And I was like, no, I'm good. Thank you, but no. So this guy just kept on walking with me. I'm like, in my head, I'm like freaking out. I'm like, when is he gonna leave me alone? When is he gonna leave me alone? And I was like, okay, I kept walking. He's right there until to a point where I guess he gave up and left me alone. And oh my God, I felt relieved after that. I was like, it's as if like a whole stress that I had at the time just went away. And remember, this was like my very first time I ever been approached like that and been catcalled. So I didn't know what to do at the time. So anything that came up to my head, I just did it right there. So that's what I did at that time. So I was like trying to get this guy away. So yes, and then he finally left after I just kept denying him. And then sophomore year ended, and then junior year came, and then around like in the middle of junior year, let me tell you this, I met the same dude, and then he came into one of my classrooms when I was talking to a friend. At that time I remembered his face, because come on now, it was my first time being catcalled, so of course I remember the face, the face of the person that was doing that, because yeah. So at that time I was like, he looked familiar when I saw him again. That when he came in to talk to his friends, he knew somebody that I was talking to at the time. Acquaintance I used to talk to back then. And then so I was looking at him, I was like, oh my God, he looked familiar. I've seen him before. and then boom, like a little spark happened in my head. I was like, oh, now I remember. And I was like, it was the same dude. It was like, oh, so he went to this school. And then, so at the time I thought he went to my school. Okay, I was like, okay, whatever. And then later, I found out he didn't go to my school. He went to a school that was located right next to my school. And yeah, I just, after that day, I was like, okay, I'm done. So that's the whole story. That's the whole story time. Where the first time I ever got catcalled and how I got away from that terrible situation. I hope you guys learned something from this, and I hope nobody went to the same situation I went to at that time. So one thing I'm gonna say is be careful out there. You never know. You could have, the person I could have met could have been crazy and stuff like that. You never know what could happen. Anyway, be safe out there. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.